So in terms of 80s bands who came up in the Sunset Strip scene, Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses are arguably the two biggest ones. And you happen to manage both of them at a certain point in time. So what was similar and what was different between the two bands?
Well, they are friends. So there's a lot of similarities. They like to party. Well, Nikki Sixx, in my mind, is the genius of Motley Crue and, had all the vision and all that stuff. With Guns N' Roses, it was mostly Axl, but, Izzy contributed a lot as the songwriter, and Slash is just a celebrity in my mind. It's like, I love Slash. He can do no wrong. So I think when Slash joined the band, that's what propelled it into superstardom. They were very similar, Slash was very Hollywood savvy because he grew up here, Axl and Izzy were from Indiana like me, so, they had to sort of learn the underculture of Hollywood. And Nikki is more like Axl because he, wasn't from here. I don't know, but they're similar in that they had no plan B. That's, the biggest similarity is that both bands just went for it. There was no, I'm going to be an accountant or whatever,
Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses are two of the definitive bands of the 1980s, and in the case of Guns N' Roses, you can make a case that they are one of the definitive bands of the 90s as well, considering their records Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 were released in 1991. Both Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses were formed in Los Angeles, Motley in 1981 and GN'R in 1985. Of all the notorious rock stars of the 1980s, you could make a very strong argument that Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses were the two hardest partying bands out there, and that's saying something considering how many bands in the 80s were known for their excessive lifestyles. A perfect example of just how far over the edge the guys in Motley and GN'R were willing to go took place on the day before Christmas Eve on December 23, 1987. Nikki Sixx, Slash, Steven Adler, and various friends of theirs had one of their typical nights of hardcore partying, except this time things went wrong. That night, Nikki Sixx famously overdosed on heroin and was clinically dead for 2 minutes. Slash's girlfriend at the time, Sally McLaughlin, tried to resuscitate Nikki Sixx via CPR, but it didn't work. What eventually saved Nikki's life was adrenaline paramedics gave him. During all this craziness, word leaked to radio and to the other members of Motley Crue that Nikki Sixx had died. In the Nikki Sixx biography, The Heroin Diaries, Vince Neil recalls how he felt when he heard that Nikki Sixx had passed. Maybe deep down I knew it was going to happen one day, but it still tore me to pieces because I loved Nikki. I cried, and I never used to cry then. In a twist of fate, however, a few hours later, Nikki Sixx woke up in a hospital and then made his way home. Apparently, Nikki Sixx even shot up again with heroin later that same night. Now, interestingly, Steven Adler, who was with Nikki Sixx when he overdosed, disputes the accuracy of this story. According to Steven Adler, he was able to revive Nikki Sixx before the paramedics got to the scene. Interesting to note. Which version of the story is true and which one isn't? Who knows for sure? Maybe there are elements of truth in both of them. The one thing that we do know for certain, though, is that this incident provided the inspiration for one of Motley Crue's most famous songs, Kickstart My Heart. The title Kickstart My Heart is a reference to the paramedics injecting Nikki Sixx's heart with adrenaline. A near-death experience ended up becoming the inspiration for one of glam metal's most famous songs.
I remember that being around Christmas because I was coming home from visiting my folks in Florida. Was not a good batch of heroin, apparently. I wasn't around, so I don't know exactly what happened there, but yeah. Scary.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe for more because there is a lot more to come. All the videos on my channel are original. I'm the one filming, editing, and conducting all the interviews, so if you guys like what you see and you want to support, the best way to do so is honestly just to subscribe. Thanks for watching.